be given in tribute to me.
What's up, guys? This video is gonna be me doing the breakdown of the second half of Smallville from the video that I did a while ago from the first half of Smallville. So that video was seasons 1 through 5 breakdown, and this video is gonna be seasons 6 through 10 breakdown. And I was already recording it, but I messed up the recording, so I gotta start over and try and make it seem as genuine as the first go. But anyways, so let's jump into it, and this time I don't mess it up. Alright, here we go. Bam. Go here. And ta-da. Alright, here we go.
You know what I love about Smallville? I love watching clearly adults playing 15-year-olds, staring off into the distance as How to Save a Life by the Phrase plays. But what happens when they graduate? Well, the writers take advantage, in the sense that they completely lose their fucking minds. We've got pregnancies, marriages, more blackmail, crossing, triple quadruple crossing, and everyone has a gun now. In year 6, my little baby brain didn't get it,
Season 6
but
was
now,
nuts.
it's the same age as the characters. I kind of love it. Season 6 is extremely authentic to real life.
Season 6 was probably the most emotionally nuts. The rest was kind of nuts in a different way, like
It begins with some nonsense with Zod that doesn't matter, because Proper Zod then shows up in Season 9.
Proper Zod.
But we start the season with a whole bunch of new ships.
Season 9.
Are you putting the move on?
Season 9, Proper Zod.
No, come on.
There's Oliver Queen and Lois, Jimmy Olsen and Chloe, and now Lana is so disenchanted by Clark's secrets that she ends up with Lex Luthor. They in fact do it in front of a fireplace as Clark plays with his balls. Lex loves Lana because to him, she's pure, someone who can lead him on a path of redemption, because unlike
His
every
girl's
other
been
woman in
getting
his
banged
life,
out
she's
while
not
he's
involved in a
playing
game
with
of
his
lies.
balls.
And also there's a dick measuring contest between him and Clark now.
I go to bed praying every night that I don't get what I deserve. And then you meet someone. You're so good. She might be the one person who could learn to love you.
While Lana loves Lex because he's both an alternative to Clark, as someone who's very open, and he's also got the charisma of Michael Rosenbaum. And who doesn't love him?
I've never been a drinker, but you know, it's hard for me not to have a smoke every once in a while. It's hard for me not to smoke a little pot every once in a while. Well, 3 times a week.
But the tragedy of their relationship is that instead of redeeming Lex, Lana is poisoned by his darkness. He proposes to her, and this is where the show gets pretty messed up.
See, I highly doubt she'll say no, Clark. Now that she's carrying my child.
Furthermore, to deal with everyone disliking Lex Luthor, Lana develops his behavior and mannerisms.
How much does Lana Lang's personal life boost newspaper sales these days?
And when she confronts Clark Kent, he wants to tell her everything, but he reveals that he knows about the baby.
Even the fact that you told me that you look back at
Oh,
the
yeah.
past and regret it every day.
For sure, Season 6 ruined Lana. Like, as a character, as a whole. Like, after Season 6, Lana was wrecked. Lex stole... Well, Clark just lost his dad, so he wasn't trying to like alienate Lana from feeling like he's not being honest with her, because he wasn't, because he didn't tell her his secret because he just lost his dad for telling her. He did tell her his secret, but he lost his dad because he told her his secret. So it was undid because he went back in time, because the first time he told her his secret, she died, and then he went back in time and didn't tell her his secret, and then his dad died instead, because Jor-El said there's a cost. Anyways, so he wasn't trying to lose Lana, and then Lana runs into Lex's arms just to be spiteful, as women do. Yeah, but then from that season on, he's wrecked. Because even after he leaves Lex to be with Clark, she still got all that trauma from being with Lex. So season 7, from season 7 onwards, she cares more about getting revenge on Lex than being with Clark. Even when she's with Clark, she's still thinking about getting revenge on Lex. And then when she gets over the getting revenge on Lex part, she's obsessed with power.
Has that changed too?
He instead lets her go and hopes Lex will make her happy. She admits to Lex that she does in fact love Clark, but also says you deserve better than that, which shakes Lex Luthor to his very core, and he reveals that he would have waited for her forever because she's the only person that can change him for the better. But judging by his influence, we know that won't be the case, regardless if she accepts.
A bitch. No, I get it. I don't know.
Smallville as a whole, but season 6 especially at its core is about effective forecast, which simply put is our predictions of our future emotional reactions to something, often our ideas of what will bring us everlasting happiness. As Wilson and Gilbert said, common to these myths is the notion that if people, perhaps with the help of a genie, could make their wishes come true, they would achieve everlasting happiness. Sometimes, however, people are disappointed by the very things they think they want. Research on effective forecasting has shown that people routinely mispredict how much pleasure or displeasure future events will bring.
Not
as a
this
result,
next week, but
sometimes
next week.
work to bring about events that do not maximize
The week after
their
next.
happiness.
Please. Thank you.
The tragedy of Clark and Lana is very much about this miscalculation. All their actions here is built on anticipating something that can give them everlasting happiness.
When I was with Clark, I would have said yes without hesitating. I thought that chapter of my life was over.
But in reality, the feeling is both short-lived and built on something that they can't see. As a result, they've got to discover that they're both more emotionally resilient than they really think, because damn, there's some twists. Clark has a nightmare about shanking Lex Luthor on the wedding. He trashes the barn when he's awake, and he finally approaches Lana to tell her the truth, but then she also says that she's not going to marry Lex, because she actually had discovered the truth earlier.
I'm down here for ground zero of the Luthor-Lang wedding, but
Because
I didn't have a choice, it wasn't my fault.
But this isn't the twist.
Faded.
Lex Luthor also has a nightmare of the baby being a goddamn demon, and reveals to Lino he's afraid of Lana finding out of what he's really like, because he's done something horrible, something unspeakable. Subsequently, he kills Lana's personal physician when he tries to blackmail him, all under the wedding altar. Lino then threatens Clark's life to keep Lana in line.
You skipped the wedding
as he waits in the barn,
dinner.
Preparing
You
to
skipped the red K. You skipped the red K.
The worst happens.
That was the best part of the season.
Welcomes Lana into the Luthor.
He's skipping it too much. So the best part of the season 6 was the whole entire season. Clark holds in his Clark is freaking Clark. He's Clark Kent, dude. He's Clark Kent. He's got all the powers of Superman except flight. He can't fly yet, but he's got all the powers of Superman. So the world is made of cardboard. He's got to contain himself. He's got to have restraint. If he doesn't have restraint, then, you know, like, stuff breaks. So the whole season he's furious because he's getting cucked by Lex. And Lex put a baby in Lana, and, you know, but then there's this one episode where there's a dinner party. I don't know what they're called. I'm not going to look it up. It's not that important. But whenever there's their special dinner before a wedding, not the wedding reception, but whatever happens like prior to the wedding day, where everyone has a special dinner that they go to. And so I don't know if it called a wedding shower. I don't know. But everyone goes to a special dinner. Clark wasn't invited, but he gets exposed to red kryptonite and he decides to crash it. And when he crashes it, every time he's under the influence of something, like Martha always covers, Martha covers for Clark and says, "Oh, he's been drinking, he's not himself." It's so convenient. Every single season, whenever Clark is under the influence of something, no one notices that whenever Clark happens to be under the influence of something, he gets super strength, right? So he's drunk allegedly. He's not drunk. He's under red K, but he gets super strength. He ragdolls Lex across the room, and ruins the dinner. He reveals to the dinner that I can't believe he's skipping all this, dude. He reveals to everyone at the dinner party that the only reason they're getting married is because Lana's pregnant. And everyone's like, oh, yes, oh, bastard child. Right, so, and then Lex is furious and tries to confront Clark, and that's when Clark ragdolls him across the room. Then Clark kidnaps Lana and leaves the party with her, takes her to his barn. Lex goes after them, and when Lex confronts them in the barn, they get into it, and Lex stabs Clark with a I don't know, some kind of farm tool. I don't know what it's called. Like it's like an iron pick or something. And both Lex and Lana witness that when Lex stabs Clark. I don't know if Lex saw it, but I know Lana did. He stabs Clark. The thing doesn't do any damage to Clark, and it damages the tool, right? And then so she like steals it and hides it away, and like has it in a, wraps it up and hides it away, and she's like, oh my gosh, this is my precious, this is my evidence that Clark is special, he must be a meteor freak or something. And that's when she decides to spy on him and confirm that he has abilities, and that's where she hides in the wine cellar and sees that he has powers, but she thinks he's a meteor freak. She doesn't know that he's an alien. Anyways, and I can't believe you skipped all that, because it's like one of the highlights of the entire season.
Family. Lex smiles at the sad puppy dog Clark. Everlasting happiness with Lana. The future prediction that she's the only source of all of this is pretty much bullshit, and Clark has to just learn to live with it, because he can. As Chloe said,
Clark, you don't hesitate to run into a burning building or jump in front of a bullet because nothing can penetrate that iron flesh of yours. But the one time saving Lana means putting your heart on the line, the Man of Steel is nowhere to be found.
And that's what this whole wedding arc has been about. Testing the steel in his heart, while also introducing that he doesn't have to do it alone. We now have Oliver Queen, aka the Queen of the Olives. He's brought in for really two purposes: to give something Lois to do and to expand Clark's world. So there's something beyond the horizon of another fucking Kryptonian phantom thingy-majig and outside of Lana. Ollie was Lex Luthor's childhood bully, and he does try to apologize in the present, but he's pushed away. They're both locked in a cycle of hatred.
I want you to know how much I regret it.
And I regret ever thinking I needed friends like you.
Because back in the day, he picked on a good kid, a proto-Clark Kent called Duncan, who found Ollie stealing the test and answers. But where Duncan told administration, Lex wanted to use it to blackmail them. The ensuing fight then led to Duncan being hit by a car, and then there's some nonsense with Avenging ghosts in the present. But the point is, where Ollie looks for redemption, Lex looks for advantages.
It's so ridiculous.
And that includes the very idea of
in some
redemption
episodes
as a self-absorbed commodity that can be won over, as opposed to an actual process of change.
You never could take responsibility for what happened to Duncan.
Like your hands were clean.
Not even close. But since then, I've been scrubbing them real hard. Yours just keep getting dirtier.
This is why he does everything he can to take Lana, but when it happens, that too becomes a game of lies, as he holds secrets and she has to learn to play the game to survive.
You knew what Lex was doing to me. Orchestrating a fake pregnancy and making me believe that I lost a baby.
And also why Lex Luthor eventually becomes a full-blown supervillain in the most awesomest episode ever, where Clark transcends into something more than just a sad boy. Injustice. Just justice. You spoiled f***ing kids nowadays, you get your Avengers movies and multiple cuts of Justice League. Back in my day, this was
dude.
And it's so goddamn dated.
It's true. This was like a TV event. This was like a TV event. Like I think it was like 2007, or it was 2007, right? This was a TV event. Oh my gosh, we're gonna get the Justice League assemble. on our TV show, and it was like a 2-hour event where we got Wally West, what was his name in the show? Bart Allen. His name was Bart Allen. Alright, so his name was in the show was Bart Allen. We got the Flash came back. He was a street kid who stole from Clark's dad in the previous season. Right, so we got the Flash, we got Aquaman, we got Cyborg, we got Clark, we got Martian Manhunter. So this was the closest we got to a superhero ensemble back then. Like, there hadn't even been a superhero ensemble team-up movie. They didn't exist. The only superhero movies that existed were singular, where it's one superhero by himself in his own movie, right? This was before 2012 when Avengers changed the game.
Fish jokes. That's all I ever get are fish jokes.
It's a superhero team-up that's made by people that are clearly timid about the very proposition. Everyone is wearing leather, there's no domino masks, because that'd be silly, so sunglasses at night with hoods up makes way more sense.
What I do best.
And everyone's fighting at a factory at nighttime. Lex is making a superhuman army. Ollie with Cyborg and Aquaman have a team, and they go save Bart Allen. Clark does a thing and stumbles into Kryptonite, and then the gang saves them, and then they all walk away from a giant explosion. However, Ollie and Lois
cool guys don't look at explosions.
And he's got to say goodbye so he can keep his secret. A moment very much reflective of the very experiences Clark and Lana had.
Because there are more important things in this world than what I want.
But they do it more
There's
maturely
gotta be
because,
implants.
unlike Clark, this ain't their first heartbreak. They're mature people who grow into. Also, they have supporting character privileges. In a more reflective episode that shows how much Clark and Lex has changed, they both get stuck in a nice tight hole. Someone that Lex Luthor crossed blows up the tunnels he's in. Clark tries to go in, but then gets stuck due to kryptonite. How they act now totally contrasts who they were.
I stopped expecting you to act like a friend a long time ago.
I can't believe you destroy someone just to win a race.
Were we ever really friends, Lex? I don't know. I have nothing to compare it to. You're the only real friend I've ever had, Clark. Somewhere along the way, you saw me as your nemesis. Turn your back on me.
The reason why their relationship fell apart was directly because of effective forecasts, the expectations of being enemies someday due to their differences echoed by those around them constantly, and the way they take that acceptance of the future to exploit and deny one another.
Being caught underage at a strip club, using my membership while I'm gearing up for a political campaign.
I didn't mean to drag you into this.
The destiny of them becoming enemies is a reality now. All because of this vision of the future. But then there's also an important moment where Lex runs off, but he actually then comes back with a beam to help Clark out.
Do you really think I was gonna let you die alone down here, Clark?
They didn't have to be enemies.
To be fair to Lex, and I don't know if I talked about this in the last video, as wholesome and as wholesome as Clark is, and how much Lex needed and in a way used Clark, because he needed Clark in his life to have that moral compass, that wholesome anchor, you know, in his life. He needed that. But on the flip side, Clark used the shit out of Lex all the freaking time, dude. Constantly hitting him up for favors and like special you know, access because he's Lex. And it's like, and it seemed like a really one-sided friendship, to be honest. It seemed like a really one-sided friendship where, yeah, Lex needs your wholesome moral compass and your stable family because he doesn't have that in his life, but all you do is take, hey, can you drive me here, hey, can you get us access to this, hey, can you use your billionaire access to do this, can we get a helicopter ride, do you know this person, Constantly, like, It was such a one-sided friendship. And it's no wonder Lex eventually got sick of it while also being lied to. You're constantly using me and you're lying to my face? Fuck you, dude. No wonder he finally got sick of it.
They just had to stop being their fathers, as the previous seasons thematically highlighted. Lex very much learns that Lana would have left him and has doubt now.
I saw Lana the day of the wedding. She was gonna leave you.
Which is made worse when he sees her with Clark. But then he also gets the satisfaction of seeing her leave him for him. But later that night he does confront her, and she's forced to twist his lie against him, saying that she felt that the baby was dying and feared that he couldn't love her, and this messes him up. His own effective forecasts of Lana being the one to redeem him is a lie, because the means he took to attain it destroyed the possibility and sincerity of that change that he was looking for. Instead, he only has a mixture of self-hatred and doubt.
What kind of a person would lie like that?
In the finale, Lionel reveals to Lex that Lana doesn't love him, and he rejects his father forever in his disbelief. Martha leaves for Washington and points out that Clark doesn't need to stay, but he's deeply protective of the farm and his family's legacy.
This farm, it's my home. And it's been in our family for over 100 years. Someone has to take care of it.
But that someone doesn't have to be you.
While Lana has chosen to leave Lex and embraces Clark, he reveals his powers, and she ends up revealing what Lionel did, so Clark f***ing confronts him. But before he can snap his neck, it's revealed Lionel used Lana to get information on Lex while Martian Manhunter intervenes to confirm his good intentions. They're all on the same side, because everyone is also trapped in this game of inescapable lies. Lana confronts Lex over the baby and argues he's not capable of f***ing love as he tries to keep her.
Clark means more to me than you ever will.
She then gets blown up as Lionel watches who has to bring the news to Clark. Season 6, all of this was the choking point where all the pieces left from the beginning, Lana, Clark and Lex, were all taken to their most extremes. From being brothers who valued each other's differences, learning from each other, are now worst enemies.
The days of you showing up unannounced in my home are over.
Lana, from the girl next door he's destined to fall in love with forever, turns into someone Clark has to learn to let go as he enters his manhood. And Lois, in the background, simmers as someone Clark has the potential to be even more
You hear that, guys?
powerful and more...
You hear that, guys? We gotta learn to let go the girls that we think we love. The girls that we crush. The girl that, you know, we all have this one girl that we have this huge crush on, right? Our first love, right? Learn to let them go. Because we never really knew them anyways. What we thought we knew about them, what we thought we liked about them, was a lie. Most of it was made up in our head, and most of it was just attraction from our wieners. And then we make up this fairy tale in our head, like, oh, like because we got this huge boner for them, and then we make up this fairy tale in our head, that there's some sweet innocent girl like Belle, you know, from Beauty and the Beast, or Ariel from The Little Mermaid, or frickin' you know, all those other princesses. They're not innocent at all. And honestly, like, for example, the one girl that I don't think I've ever loved anybody, but the closest thing I had this idea in my head at the time, oh, she's so nice and blah blah blah, and like, oh, we'd be perfect together. But then in hindsight, when I thought about it, I was like, there were so many tells. There was tells all the time. I was just didn't paying attention that she wasn't a good person. Like, remember that one time she got off the bus and was bragging about how she was bullying this kid, and she was joining in bullying this autistic kid, and she was so proud of herself. Remember that? Oh yeah, that's not something a good person would do, and yet I idolized her as some sort of fucking princess. Anyways.
Truthfully connected with. It's all so very special, but at the same time, to be continued.
No! You were supposed to finish it! You were supposed to finish season... This was supposed to go all the way to season 10. You can't do this. This is supposed to go all the way to season 10. We have to be done with Smallville. No! Oh well. Okay. Anyways. That's that. But hold on, let me switch this back on. No, I'll leave that. That's fine. Yeah, so I guess there's gonna be a part 3 covering seasons 7 through 10. Well, it's crazy because the first video was seasons 1 through 5, right? And that video, we literally only covered one season. All we covered was season 6. The first video covered all seasons 1 through 5, and then that entire video was just season 6. At the end, we were just there getting to season 7, so that leaves all of season 7. That leaves another 4 seasons. Well, what a weird way to do it. Why would you structure your video that way? Cover 5 seasons in the first video, 1 season in the second video where you're saying Smallville goes crazy, and then you got 4 more seasons left. You would think it would be 5 and 5, right? 1 through 5 in the first video, and then season 6 through 10 in the second video. Anyways, I'm not gonna complain because that dude edits all the footage from the show together really well, and these dudes are like master editors because not only do they artistically edit all this footage from the show together, right? But they do it in a way where they're like savvy and they know what's gonna get flagged. They're like, okay, if I show this clip too long, it's gonna get flagged. So I'll cut it with this clip, and they know just how many seconds they can show something before it gets flagged, and that's like an entire art form in itself. Anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching this video, and please like, subscribe to the channel. Like the video, that helps me, and please subscribe to me on Twitch too. You can click the link in this. There's the Twitch name right there. You can click the link in the description as well to get to the Twitch. Anyways, peace out, guys.